All right, let's talk about something we all know and, well, mostly dread, the email inbox. If you've ever opened your email and just felt this wave of anxiety wash over you, you are definitely not alone. But today, we're going to look at how AI is finally stepping up to the plate to tame this huge source of digital stress.
40,000. I mean, look at that number. For some people, that's not just some random figure on a screen. That is the actual number of unread emails sitting in their inbox right now. It's this constant, overwhelming flood of digital noise, right? You've got work, ads, bills, newsletters, all just screaming for your attention.
And let's be real, even if your number isn't 40,000, thankfully, that feeling is totally universal, isn't it? You know that little red notification bubble? It stops feeling like a helpful reminder and starts feeling more like this daily battle that you know you're just going to lose. So, how do we actually get out of this mess? Well, here's the plan. First, we're going to talk about why we're all drowning in emails. Then, we'll look at how AI is fixing the problem. We'll dive deep into what a new kind of inbox looks like and how it turns all that information into real action. And definitely stick around, because at the end, we're going to zoom out and see what this means for the future of all the software we use.
Okay, Section 1, Drowning in Unread Emails. For years, our game plan has been pretty much the same, right? We fight back with rules, folders, filters. We sort and we categorize everything so meticulously. But let's be honest. With the amount of information flying at us today, it feels like trying to bail out a sinking ship with a teaspoon. These old methods just aren't cutting it anymore. We're still drowning.
Which brings us right to our second section, how AI is actually fixing this. Just when it felt like the inbox was a totally lost cause, a new contender steps into the ring: artificial intelligence. And what's so fascinating here is that it's not just one single solution. The tech world is coming at this problem from three completely different angles, and it really signals a huge shift in how we're all going to manage our digital lives.
Okay, so this is super interesting because it really lays out the whole landscape for us. You've got the big players like Gmail and Outlook just kind of adding AI features on top. Then you've got plugins that try to enhance what you already have, but what we're going to focus on today is that middle path, AI as a foundation. This is where the entire experience is being completely rethought from the ground up.
All right, let's dive into that middle path. This brings us to Section 3, and we're going to look at a specific example. A new kind of inbox called Philo Mail. Now, this isn't just another email app with a couple of AI features bolted on. Nope. It's built from scratch with a totally different idea in mind. It calls itself an AI native tool, which means it's designed to actually think for you, not just organize stuff for you.
And this quote right here, it really gets to the heart of it. The whole philosophy is to move away from these passive tools where you have to do all the work. The goal is to move toward a proactive partner, something that actually understands what's going on, figures out what you need, and then takes action.
And this just shows you the difference immediately. It's a classic before and after. On the left, you've got your typical inbox, right? A total fire hose of everything. On the right is what you see when you open Philo. The AI has already done the hard work. It's sifted through all that noise and is only showing you the 2 or 3 things that genuinely need your attention today. Everything else, it's already sorted away for you. Okay, that first glance is pretty impressive, but how does it actually work? Well, that brings us to Section 4, from information to action. We're about to break down the specific AI features that turn that inbox chaos into the kind of clarity you'd get from a real digital assistant.
So the first big trick up its sleeve is what they call intelligent summaries. Get this, before you even click open an email, the AI has already read it, figured out the main point, and then rewritten the subject line to tell you exactly what's inside. No more guessing.
Here's a perfect example. A newsletter comes in from the Wall Street Journal. The title is just The Basis. I mean, that's clever, I guess, but it's totally unhelpful, right? But Philo instantly changes that title into a super useful, scannable summary. Just like that, you know exactly what the email is about without having to open a single thing.
And then when you do decide to click on it, it gets even better. Right at the top, you get this clean bullet point summary of the key info. But here's where it really takes a leap forward. The AI actually anticipates what you might want to do next and suggests actions. Like, hey, do you want to read the full article? Or, you know what, maybe it's time to unsubscribe. The buttons are right there waiting for you.
Okay, this next feature is where things start to feel a little bit like magic.
Philo doesn't just read your emails for information, it reads for intent. It actually understands what an email is asking you to do, and it automatically turns that into a task for you.
Check out this perfect example. Let's say you book a restaurant. You get 2 confirmation emails, right? One from the reservation service, one from Google. Now, instead of having 2 cluttered emails, Philo reads both, understands what's happening, and creates one single, simple task in your to-do list. Go to the restaurant on Saturday morning. It even finds and pulls out the cancellation policy just in case. You didn't have to do anything. No manual entry, no creating calendar invites. It just happens.
And the last big piece of the puzzle is you can just talk to it. Seriously, instead of digging through menus and trying to set up some complicated filter, you can just use plain English and tell the AI assistant what you want to do.
So imagine this. You want to finally clean up all of those useless one-time verification code emails that have been piling up for literally years. All you have to do is just type this one simple sentence. And bam, a few moments later, that's your result. The AI has already scanned your entire inbox, found almost 300 of those specific emails, and has them all ready to be deleted. And here's the best part. To close the loop, it doesn't just go and delete them blindly. It presents what it found and then asks for your final confirmation. It's a genuine collaboration, you know? It's you and your assistant working together to manage your digital life. So when you put all these features together, you start to see the bigger picture, right? This is about so much more than just having a clean inbox. And that brings us to our final section. The future is AI native. What we're really looking at here is a blueprint for a massive shift in how all of our software could be designed and how we interact with it.
And you know, one of the really cool things about this AI native approach is just how efficient it is. Because the AI is doing all the heavy lifting, the app itself can be super lightweight. We're talking under 30 megabytes. This idea also makes it easier to integrate across different platforms, like the full support you see here for the Apple ecosystem. It's a model that really puts intelligence and accessibility first, instead of just piling on more and more bulky features.
And this really is the crucial takeaway. We're moving out of an era where we had to tell our tools exactly what to do, step by step by step. Now we're heading into a new era where our tools actually have a basic understanding of our goals and can work proactively to help us get there. The bottom line is, they can think.
And that leaves us with a really fascinating question to chew on. Because, look, email is just the beginning of this. Think about all the digital tools you use every single day. Your calendar, your notes app, your project manager. Which one of those do you wish would wake up tomorrow with the ability to actually think?